I want you to understand that manifestation is not some weird witchy voodoo type of situation. It's just the process of neuroplasticity. It's the art of creating a new neural pathway in the brain. And the reason that so many people are not manifesting is because they're not actually shifting their core limiting beliefs into more favorable ones. I want you to take an audit right here, right now with me, across a certain area of your life that you just can't get ahead in. Let's say that's money. Let's say that's business. Let's say that's love, whatever it is for you. What's that one area that no matter how hard you try, you just can't get ahead? Now, I want you to think about what are your beliefs around that area. It's hard. I can never get ahead. I can never get enough. As soon as I have it, it ends up leaving. You are made up of a set of subconscious limiting beliefs around that area. Now, you think that because life dealt you a certain hand of cards, that reality showed itself to you, and then you formed the belief system. No, 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 no. From our formative youth, from our environment, from our caretakers, mom, dad, primary caregiver, whatever it is, from even our race, from even our religion, from even our socioeconomic status, from even our environment, we have been programmed by the people that are around us, the people that protect us, and the people that we have trusted. Okay, so when you saw, as an example, mom and dad struggle growing up, your brain put 2 and 2 together, right? Mom and dad are supposed to protect me. Mom and dad are obviously farther along. Mom and dad are obviously like doing the things, right? And if they're struggling to get money, that must mean that money's hard to come by. That must mean that you have to work really hard for money. That must mean you need to slave away. That must mean that there is some unfairness or unjust happening with mom and dad, right? Because they can never get ahead no matter how much they try. We see people's lives play out in our formative development era, and then we form beliefs based on other people's lives. Your limiting beliefs are not even your own. They're not even your own. Can you imagine? They're not even your own. If I was to ask you, who would you be? Who would you be without your limiting stories? Who would you be? Your mind probably goes blank. Who would you be without your story? The fact of the matter is you'd be no one, nobody, nothing without your story. Your story is your everything. It is your identity. Problem is certain people's identity are rooted in lesser than, are rooted in insecurity, are rooted in lack, are rooted in the idea that it is, there's an injustice happening within them. And these limiting stories are preventing them from going ahead. I want you to imagine that your effort actually only dictates 5% of your success across any area in your life. And it's actually your subconscious programming that dictates 95% of your reality. Okay, 95%. Too many people are trying to outwork and effort themselves when they have a limiting belief issue. They have a limiting belief issue. I want to give you an example in love. Okay, let's stick with that right now. Let's say I'm searching for love, but let's say that my belief system is that there's no good men out there. Okay, there's no good men out there. Men are liars, men are cheats, men are this, men are that. I don't believe that, but there's a lot of people that do. Okay, so let's just, say this for them. And so if I have a belief system that says men are crap, men are shit, and then I'm like, where is the love of my life? Do you see how I'm not really a match to any kind of love? And do you notice how people that complain about other people in love, they only attract those people? Like the women who are constantly whining about how men aren't shit only get the men who aren't shit. They don't get a single man above that because that's their identity. That is their identity. They feel the need to argue for the limitations, to talk about the hand that the universe, God, whatever you believe in, dealt them, and to continue to argue for their limitations. But if you were to shift those beliefs, because 95% of your reality is dictated by these beliefs, you would be experiencing a totally different life in as little as 30 to 60 to maybe even 90 days. How do I know this? I turned my whole life around in literally 30 days. I went from overexerting myself, broke as a joke, no two dimes to rub together, always working and slaving away, to literally manifesting in over 6 figures in as little as 30 days. There was no amount of effort I was doing for 30 plus years that was able to get me the quantum leap that belief work gave me. When I reprogrammed my mind, my body, and my nervous system for success in money and in business, success became the only option for me. The people that are failing in business or money or, even love or other areas, the only reason they're failing is because they're trying to argue for their limitations and get better at the same time. The price of your perfect, idealistic relationship, business, financial situation is gonna cost you your limiting stories. And you might think to yourself, well, I'm willing to give them up, but you literally can't get more than 3 sentences out before bringing up your past, before bringing up that time that someone hurt you, before looking at your reality and being like, I can't believe in this, I can't do more. I want you to be able to reject whatever you're seeing in your reality right now and to choose faith and belief over fear and your past. Because the only thing that exists right now is the present moment. And you need to understand and accept in every bone in your body that what I'm deciding in this moment dictates what I attract in my next moment. If I sit here and look at all the things that are wrong with my reality, where is my focus going? Where is my energy going on what's wrong? And I want you to imagine in this comical little example here that God is just a multiplier. God, universe, source, whatever you believe in, it's just a multiplier. So whatever you focus on and whatever you believe, God will multiply it. Whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether it's ugly. He takes your conscious focus and your beliefs and just assumes that that's what you want more of. So the more you focus on what's missing in your finances, you get extra payments. You get extra car payments. You get extra IRS bills. You get demoted. You don't get enough clients this month. When you focus on what's missing with your partner, you get more disconnect. You get more lack of consideration. You get less communication. You get less prioritization. A lot of you don't realize that if you were to take the amount of effort that you are exerting on the negative and shift it to the positive, you literally wouldn't have anything left to complain about. You literally wouldn't have anything left to whine about, as terrible as it is to say. But there are some people that actually want to stick in the whining. They want to stick in the suffering because it's a part of their identity. And there's nothing wrong with that, because so many people would actually rather choose a familiar hell than an unfamiliar heaven. And that's fine, because everybody has to come in to this in their own timing. But I want you to ask yourself, how are you continuing to play the drum of your old story? And how is it actually benefiting you in some manner? Because we don't continue to do certain things if it doesn't benefit us. Potentially your limiting stories are benefiting you because you get to stay in your comfort zone, because you don't have to push yourself, because you don't have to have discipline, because you don't have to have self-love, because you don't have to have self-trust, because you don't have to have belief, because you don't have to have faith, because you don't have to be uncomfortable. There are so many ways you are benefiting from your limitations. It's a joke. And it's not until you get so uncomfortable in your shit that you're even going to consider changing. The truth of the matter is, you don't want it bad enough until you're willing to do absolutely anything and feel the maximum amount of discomfort to get it. A hungry dog is what's always going to get the bone. And some people are not hungry enough to go after it. That's totally fine. But sit with yourself and audit, how long am I willing to stay here before I actually need to get some professional help?